as the data that's going to be displayed here. So this is regarding the wireframing it. So wireframe is kind of, I think.
Sorry, Mirza, I started recording for Jaap. Jaap asked me to record. I forgot it, but I just pushed the button. So just for you to know.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah. I forgot also to kind of remind you to record for Armin as well. Anyhow, so this is the wireframe, and this is how we kind of how we set the idea how this whole dashboard, this whole digital doctor should look like and work. Regarding the design that we received from Tom, I have to mention this. I was a bit confused at the beginning with the design and everything, because this was not aligned with frames we got. And then I realized that the only components here are important, and these components designed like here needs to be followed by the wireframes. So it's a bit kind of combination of these two, which I didn't realize before until John kind of introduced it to me, and we just started to follow it up. Okay, so this is up until now. So do you have any further questions, or we can move forward?
No, clear. We obviously have. So now we're talking about the standalone version, and the standalone version will in the future will be in another application. It could be MedSafe, could be anything else.
Yes. So authorization is the same for all, I think, which we already got used to it. So I'll just use this user which we made this morning for the test perspective, so we can kind of have test data there, and we can use them in the future. So when we log in to the app, then the first dashboard is shown. So this is kind of consult dashboard where the welcoming message is there, and the upcoming consults are listed in. These upcoming consults, these I need to ask. I need to consult with Alexei. So how these are gonna look like? So are we gonna have these or so? So yeah, what's the data that's consisted of? What was the actually response that consists of which type of data and so on? And yeah, this is the initial page. This is the initial page that I worked on. All these things, what you see here, and that's I think answer to your question, Jan Mark. All these things in terms of avatar, buttons, cards, links, and everything is kind of in the shared. These are shared components, so we can use them whenever and on whichever kind of environment we want. So this is kind of just, yes.
May I? I tried to raise my hand, but you are so focused. No problem.
Sorry.
No problem. Maybe this is a question for Jan Mark, but I look at Odeon, Jan Mark, where we talk about video consults, right? Sometimes planned, sometimes non-planned. Does this all mean that we talk about standalone or not a standalone feature? Do they always have to?
The idea is that we're using APIs for this, and that you can include this in any other application.
Right.
For instance, in Odeon.
Right. That answers my question completely. Thank you.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, you're welcome. And then yeah, what else? Yeah, as I said here, the first question goes to Alexei here about these upcoming consults. How do they look like, or do we even think about that or yeah, do we have any plans regarding that one and so on?
We discussed it with Armin maybe yesterday, as I remember, and currently we agreed that only placeholder only static JSON will be returned because no data from the backend at the moment.
Yeah, the thing is, Alex, if I'm correct, Aiden was working on a calendaring API or microservice last year, but it was never updated. So we have a bit of a challenge there.
Yes, but currently calendaring service works only with questionnaires, and that's it. So we don't know, neither me or Armin, if it's suitable to contain this consultation. We should check first of all, and maybe extend it.
And I don't know whether this is also the case here. We have a planning tool in the learning management system. What we ran into is a standard feature of Microsoft. If you schedule something, it automatically refers to winter or summertime. I don't know how you call this. So you schedule something on 8 o'clock, but because the time difference is there, they automatically say, okay, it's 7. But it's still 8 o'clock. So we had a lot of difficulties to get this out. It's just if you run into problems like this, could be, maybe you already addressed this, I don't know. But this was a big issue for us in the learning management system. Summer and winter time.
Yes. Few months ago, I run in the same problem, and where we kind of used something. I mean, we didn't take into account UTC, and then, for example, it was like, especially we just used to. I mean, I'm just jumping out of the topic, but yeah, it was like showing up the results of analytics. For example, if 8 o'clock is saved in database, but when they choose for example, 8 o'clock, it shows totally different things. So the UTC is is the key.
Yeah, but maybe I think they invented time.js for that. So and there's some frameworks to use, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, but then if you click on something now, or sorry, wait.
So for now, the idea is here. For example, having listed all these consoles, clicking on one of these, but I didn't include the click just here on this button up here. The idea is when we click on the button to go to this kind of user dashboard view, where all these kind of user details are gonna listed in, and the video frame is kind of shown up, so we are able to kind of start a video call or stop it, or and handling this call here. Regarding the video, I'm not into it that much because John is responsible for this part, while I said I'm responsible for the rest here outside of it. So if I click on this dashboard here, it navigates me to the one where I'm trying to get the details of some user. I'm trying to get the details of the currently logged in user, at least just to kind of establish the connection between the API and so I know there are some details there. Just to kind of to be a bit more clarified here, we have something on our MedSafe side. We have these allergies, medications, conditions, which can be which are gonna probably be some kind of related to this one here. These items here. But the thing is here on the MedSafe side, whenever we, for example, try to load allergies, it shoots different. It shoots endpoint which retrieves us allergies. For example, if we do the same for medications, it will kind of it will look for it says like unauthorized, because probably token is expired or so. But the point is that here, whenever I click each of these, it will shoot one endpoint and then retrieve results. And here on this HealthTalk side, all these things are gonna be loaded at once. And here,
why is that? Why is that?
It's here.
I'm not sure they should be loaded at the same time. It will hinder the performance.
Yeah, I know. That's what I wanted to ask, or actually to raise up the question here. How are we supposed to get these either in one API call or how?
I believe we should trigger the API request once the accordion is opened or selected or whatever it is, whatever the preferred action is. But I would not load it pre any action.
I mean, we have two. I think we have two possibilities here. One is to have all these things in one API call, or another one is which will probably be a bit slower is when you click on each of these, load the data.
Yeah, but I would say I think this is a more problem of a UX, not a problem of app or design. I think accordion card should never be used for on-demand data. So
yeah, but what I would propose is not to change the API or not have additional APIs at the moment and do it with an accordion and do just as Jan proposing. And then also do the same as we have right now. So because we don't have health history, we call it conditions. So I would make it the same and not invent the wheel again in HealthTalk. We could always do that in a later stage.
Yeah.
And the right hand side of the screen remains static, so I don't see much point in loading data in a small box on the left side when we have a whole screen to display it. But yeah, maybe we should revisit this with UX design.
Yeah, but it's also good to look a little bit upfront that if we're going to include this into MedSafe, then we're going to use MedSafe as is. And so we're not going to change anything because all the information is in there. So there's no need to change that because of the UX or the design things. It looks nicer.
What I can just kind of say from our perspective of view, I mean from the front side. This morning I had a meeting with John where we went through this once more, and all these kind of dealing with the APIs and the states and so on is gonna be shared. So the same thing we'll use on MedSafe side.
Yeah.
So yeah, whatever we add here, since we are using the same repository and so on, whatever we do here, it's gonna be shared through all MedSafe.
No, of course, that I understand, but I would not propose to use any different kind of information because what you see here is that, for instance, the health, like I just mentioned, health history is not something that we have because we call it, we name it differently. We call it something else. So that's mainly what I tried to say. And we could, I think you also need questionnaires, for instance. So there is still a little bit of fine tuning to do.
And how did it get into the UX if this is, if it's not called health history? How does it get in? Because that's of course confusing for Misha too. Because
no, I get it. I should discuss with Jaap.
Right. And for me, I guess personal details will be quite a lot. Then maybe health history, called differently, will be quite a lot. Wouldn't it be a pity to, like Jan also says, I guess, apart from showing the information or uploading the information, to show it like this? You open it and then it's underneath. If it's a lot of information, shouldn't you maybe open a pop-up? I don't know what, but shouldn't we UX this kind of better?
Yeah, this I've not seen this before. This is, I think, the first time I've seen this, but this is not good UX.
No,
Sure.
yeah, it's UX. It's not design, I think.
Yeah, but we're
Yeah,
using
but
we're using 70% of a screen for a static information, and we're using 20% of screen for dynamic something. If
Right.
what Adrian was saying, if we load something that has 100 records in it, it's not possible to do it like this. We need more space. We need more.
No, but I think that's a good point. That's why we have a hackathon at the moment, and we better stop at some point, and we should be a little bit more involved also in the UX and design side, and because I think if we include it into MedSafe, it's going to be a little bit easier, because I don't want to change MedSafe at all. We're just going to use it as is. So that's but maybe we continue now and check the other screens, because for me the most important is the video and the soup model to put and the text recognition. That's actually where we have the hackathon for.
Right,
Yeah,
and this is just a finding, right?
Yeah.
From the hackathon.
There is one more thing I think for the hackathon. What Jaap expects, I think, is the this yellow frame, this yellow border. So the main thing here, it would be kind of to load the user at least the name and maybe some kind of detail. Regarding the consult, and then the video frame here. And I think here is gonna be speech recognition, which we're gonna wire up. So
then we're on the same page.
Yeah, I started with this here on the left side, because here I don't have that much work to do. But I'll check with John. Maybe I can take over this part here with the video if he doesn't have or doesn't get kind of more time to finish up or so. So I can maybe check with him. So
yeah, but I come back to the discussion of this morning, Mirza. The My Doctor or the measurements functionalities that I want to see here is also going to be included into ZDB. This functionality for sure is not. So I'm not interested in the development of this functionality. So I'm on the same page with Jaap. It's about just having a name and focus on the video here, and don't do the left part at all.
Yeah.
Because then I would propose to include it into MedSafe and move forward there, because otherwise we're doing work that is completely out of scope.
Yeah. Okay, understood. So yeah, I'll just let this part here. As I said, I'll just kind of take these details of the patient, display them here and so on, and that's it. And yeah, the next part is video frame, which I mean, I don't know, but I'll check with John, and I'll see how far he got with this one here. Establishing the video connection and the wire up with the, I think this is Azure service here that just kind of do the speech recognition and displays it in appropriate messages.
And this is all from the doctor's point of view, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And was it also a goal of the hackathon to have a screen from the patient point of view? What are they gonna see for a video consult?
It's here.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, Jen is doing that, and Jen will show.
Okay.
I think this is more or less your site, Mirza.
Yes.
Because the video we have to wait. Jen just pinged that he will finish on Monday or something. Yeah. So
yes.
And then what I will propose, I will have a meeting with Jaap on Monday morning. I will reserve some time, because otherwise you're doing double work. That will not work. I've discussed it before with Jaap, and let me do that first, and then you could chat with Jaap afterwards.
Yes. Regarding this side here, I have to point out here that I didn't really kind of dig deeper into this. I just kind of put some kind of rough design with some kind of template, so I didn't kind of work a lot here. The main focus is kind of to establish the connection between the between the API, and that's what I worked on.
But can you just show one of them maybe? Is that an option? Show medication or whatever you like?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect starting point. I think this is really something that we could use and now elaborate on it. That's why it might be better to slow down a little bit and just to elaborate on it. Adrienne, you also have the input. We need to discuss it with Jaap. And maybe we even have to wait for the new UX designer, the lady comes in, because that's for me still the key part. That's not 100%. So if we focus now on the video and the text, speech to text in the clinical vocabularies, then we stay on the safe side.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Well
so
done.
That's more or less from our side, and yeah, I hope I have a few more hours to work, and then we'll see what's gonna come out.
I really like what I see. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
No, I think it's also fun to work on it like this, but we have to find a good rhythm still. So let's see. So maybe Jen.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I had a bit different situation because this is what I got. It's not really connected very well. There's no kind of flow, which I talked with Jaap, but he said that we will work on that a bit later. So there was not much like a structure or a path for me to take. But I did what I could. And what I did was I used the style guide that Tom created and initialized new repository with the new components and the styles that we had so that we could reuse it in the future. As I said, the idea of using native base is not very attractive one anymore because it has several performance issues right now. So we should look to utilize only pure React Native components, which I did for this project. When it comes to the screens, as I said, I created the first one. I also mentioned to Tom that these gradients will not work well because iOS does not allow colors in the header, but Android does. So maybe for Android it would look cool, but for iOS we should probably move away from it. As Mirza said, this is all for now static data, JSON file that I created and used in the app. And yeah, so the idea is to now progress from this screen to the screen with
Jen, one second, Jen, because this is the checklist we got from the sign test 2 years ago, and for me, for the doctor, it's important to know what the patient did already. Fill in a questionnaire, fill in basic medical data, and that's the checklist that you have on the left here. So you did this intake. Did you do your intake medication and so forward? Intake allergies. And so if everything is complete, because then the doctor doesn't need to ask.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, the idea is that from what I understood is that the user goes through these steps and then he will be able to join the conversation with the doctor. So this morning I started implementing the JS SDK of React, of the Microsoft Azure communication. As I feared, it's not very suitable for React Native, but I think it will work as they don't have a pure React Native SDK. They have iOS and Android SDKs, but we cannot utilize those. However, I will try to mimic some stuff that we also did for Rocket Chat with the WebSockets to make them fit for the mobile. I had a longer break, unfortunately, today due to my checkup of the eyes. So I did not make much progress from this morning. So I commented out the actual stuff that I did with calls because it will throw some errors and it will not be presentable. But yeah, depending on whether we try to continue this right now or in the future, I will try to implement it, which I think could be interesting, with the idea or prospect that we replace Rocket Chat with Azure Communications. But yeah, let's see about that. What was important for me was to create a foundation. I considered this a new project, so I created everything from scratch, so that we have a better performing app and a solid foundation from which we can build on.
Nice, great. Just for my understanding, I pinged it in the chat already, but at some point, are you able to push, well, if you have something finished on Monday or Tuesday, are you able to push it to a test environment so we could actually see something?
Well, I can't because I need to release the app. But Mirza could, or Mirza and John could. I can do setting up of the app in the app stores, but it will take me a bit longer than.
Yeah, but maybe we should do that in the next week. But step one is I will discuss with Jaap, and maybe you have time, Adrienne, because the input is important at the moment. But I think we should just skip showing the medical data and focus on this part, because this is important. And then we have to, for me, the first priority is to get the My Doctor up and running, because otherwise we have a PTO, customers popping in and never come back again. So we need to have that working.
Yeah, I'll work on My Doctor over the weekend. Have some free time, so I'll try to sort it out over the weekend. It was just important for me for it to work. I did not test once I got back, but I'll test it now.
Yeah, but it's not
because it seems that works for Alexa and works for you, Jan-Mark. So working for me, well, it probably hates me.
It works sometimes. It's the best guesswork. It's
I'll try to squash the beef between me and
My otherwise
doctor.
you could also use my account if it's easier, because then
that's what I wanted to ask, if you could send me your account in chat or somewhere else, so that I have it as a security backup over the weekend. That would be
it's not a rush that we need something in the weekend or something. So, but for me, it was just what is the best order, and then continuing with HealthTalk is not the best priority at the moment. Although I see that you're really enjoying it, but
and it looks everything good, Jan-Mark, and I fully agree. If we have some kind of, let's just say, workable mock-up, it already would be great to show something.
So I think for sure on Monday, you continue, and Mirza, you check if you could implement how it would work together with MedSafe. But I will discuss with Jaap on Monday morning first, because then you can easily implement that into ZDB as well. Because otherwise, next week, Wally is going to call me each day, and I don't like it.
Yeah, and also
but is it you or?
I will ask if she calls you, maybe.
Yeah, but she may, if you just make yourself unavailable, she will call me, right?
Yeah.
And I will somehow be the diplomat in here. But I would really like to join this discussion. Some things I really like is also, and this is something I guess Tom did really well, the color coding makes it really it's all in one specific design, which we could apply to all other things, if not already applied, because the same colors in everywhere. So
there's no doubt there. I showed the design to a few new designers, optional designers, but they all stayed the same. The design is beautiful. The color schema and so forth. Just the UX is challenging, let's say.
Yeah, and that's of course then Mirza and Jan and probably also Alexa run into problems because they have lots of questions. What should we do?
Yeah.
But I really like the results already, but that's just me.
Yeah, but it would be amazing if you have the video and then Armin's work of the transcription, the transcriber service could be in, which is also in the better state.
And yeah, and
It's
the reason I'm asking, I just asked for the patient's point of view is because I have been involved in some kind of big research upon what works for patients if we talk about video consults, especially patients if they are stressed or maybe have less capabilities, then, well, maybe less intelligence, I don't know what, but patients come from all sorts, right? And what we basically found out, and this will also probably be the challenge at Odeon, if we can go through, is what we think is normal for video conferencing and understandable is not always understandable for patient.
I also think so, but let's try to discuss that with Jaap on Monday morning.
Sure.
Excited. Yeah.
Yeah, and the UX is really important in here. Yeah, but thank you, team. Nice work.
Yeah. Also, Jan Tabakovic, of course, and Jaap for driving this forward. Alex for the help, but I think on the backend side there was not much done. Alex, it was not needed, I think.
Yeah. Almost nothing was needed from the backend side. Only Armin added support for Azure communication IDs, and it caused a lot of other issues because to add this support and connect Azure SDK, he needs to upgrade Spring Boot dependency. And after this upgrade, we had to upgrade all other services as well.
Because, this was the problem, actually.
Yes. So this week I was solving issues with this dependency, because on Monday and Tuesday we faced the translation endpoint stopped working, and it was caused by this updated dependencies. Because we had to connect Azure communication services. So in the end of week, everything works again and works fine, I think. So this is the work we had to do also for this project.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Well, then all of you, thanks a lot. I think it's really nice. I think for the new projects, we also try to do something like this. And now we have, let's see if you can make it move to the next mock-up, and think then next week we might think of releasing the app or something in a few weeks, just to show something.
Yeah, so I'm on vacation from Wednesday, I think, next week.
Oh,
so
of course.
that's why I'm gonna work on the weekend, so that we have on Tuesday I can release an app with my doctor.
Of course.
And then of course you need a vacation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, my last one was interrupted one day, and so.
Yep. And where are you going?
Are you
planning to go somewhere or just stay at home?
Yeah, I'm going to Turkey. I'm going to Antalya.
Good.
A bit of sun.
Turkey is really cheap at the moment because the lira devaluated 60%. So it's quite a joke at the moment. Yeah,
it's really cheap. But they have problems with inflation right now, so it's kind of balancing it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot cheaper than everywhere else, probably.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, let's leave it at that for now. I think, really nice, especially if you also enjoyed it, because that's also something nice to produce something in a week with the team.
Yeah, it was really fun. Okay, thanks everyone.
Enjoy the weekend, although a little bit working. We will speak tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, thank you all. See you.
Yeah, see you guys. Bye.
Bye.